Did you know that the three latest Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man, Homecoming, Spider-Man, Far From Home, and Spider-Man, No Way Home, is based on the real-life story of Marvel itself? This is a story of three characters, Spider-Man, Sony, and Marvel. In the early 1900s, Marvel became one of the early pioneers of comic books. Marvel was home to many popular superheroes, like Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Captain America, to name a few. Then a company called DC became a competition. Both Marvel and DC made up more than 40% of the comics published. Comics were very popular and very profitable all the way up to the 90s. However, comes the age of motion pictures, movies, and animations. And comic books plummeted. Marvel Comics went bankrupt in 1996. This was an opportunity for big-name movie companies to come and divide up Marvel like a piece of the pie. Sony bought the rights to Spider-Man. Fox got X-Men and Fantastic Four. This was the reason why the early 6 Spider-Man movies, X-Men, and Fantastic Four movies were so horrible. These companies can make movies, but it's a whole other level to make good movies. They do not care about what the fans want. They don't follow the comics. So for a long time, Marvel can only sit and watch her characters get destroyed by these companies, and there is nothing she can do about it. She was so bankrupt that she had no choice but to sell her kids. Her popular kids liked the rights to Spider-Man and X-Men were sold. Marvel was a home divided. Then in 2009, Disney bought Marvel. Disney gave Marvel the power to create movies however they see fit. Disney just chills in the background. And this was a successful move. Marvel became very rich and popular in just 6 years. Seeing Marvel's big success, Sony used Spider-Man as fish bait. In 2016, Sony agreed to let Marvel create a Spider-Man movie, but Sony will get 100% of the profit. After 20 long years, from 1996 to 2016, Marvel finally got to see her lost child once again. Marvel will have the right to make one Spider-Man movie. Marvel is home to so many superheroes. She didn't care about the money, she just wanted to be able to spend one moment with her kid, Spider-Man. And so, Marvel agreed. In 2017, for the first time ever, Marvel is able to make a movie with one of her most valuable children. Marvel welcomes Spider-Man home. And we have the movie, Spider-Man, Homecoming. The movie was a big success. So Sony told Marvel, let's do this again. We want another Spider-Man movie, and just like last time, we get 100%. This made it super difficult for Marvel. Marvel has to put out the time and money to make a movie, while Sony takes 100% of the profit, just so Marvel can spend another moment with her kid, Spider-Man. But this time, Marvel said that this is way too difficult and requested a 50-50th sharing. And Sony said yes. At that moment, Marvel knows what Sony is trying to do. If this next Spider-Man movie is successful, and it will be, then Sony is going to take Spider-Man further away from Marvel. Because as Spider-Man will become more popular, then Sony can make more demands. By making more movies with Sony, Spider-Man is going to be farther away from home rather than coming home, because Sony will use Spider-Man to keep profiting off Marvel. Thus Spider-Man will most likely not come home and will be very far, far away. And so we have the second movie, Spider-Man, Far From Home. And the movie was a big success. So Sony told Marvel they should make a third movie, but this time Sony will take 100% of the profit. Marvel said no. But Disney knows that Marvel fans really want a third Spider-Man movie, and that Marvel loves Spider-Man so much that Disney is willing to put out the money for Marvel. After many months of discussion, Sony wanted to cancel the third Spider-Man movie. But because of the fans and Marvel, Disney started to bargain with Sony again. And it was finally decided that Disney and Marvel will only take 25% of the profit, while Sony got 75%. Marvel knows for sure that this will be the last Spider-Man movie, because after this, as Spider-Man becomes more popular, Marvel will no longer be able to make any more bargains. This is the last movie. Marvel knows she will never be able to see her kid anymore. After this, Spider-Man would have no chance of ever coming back to Marvel, coming back home. And so we have the third movie, Spider-Man, No Way Home. And in this movie, Marvel left us a message. Chances are, Sony is probably not ever going to release the rights to Spider-Man. Even if Marvel wants to buy back Spider-Man, Sony will put up a ridiculous price. So, what will Marvel do? The worst thing any parent can do to their kids.
But this time make everyone forget who Peter Parker is. Make everyone forget me.
In Spider-Man, No Way Home, Peter Parker wanted most people to forget that he is Spider-Man, except for a few people. But in the end, he has no choice. To save the world, Peter asked Doctor Strange to make everyone forget about him. Everyone, including you and me, and all Marvel fans, and even Marvel, to forget about Spider-Man. Here is 2 popular lines at the end of the movie, how much Marvel missed Spider-Man.
You gotta understand, that would mean that everyone who knows and loves you, we we'd have no memory of you.
I lost a good friend a while back. Felt like this. It hurts because they're gone, and then it hurts all over again because you remember what they stood for.